Hi everybody, welcome back to You Tips for You. Today I want to talk to the moms out there, and I want to offer some advice as a friend who's gone through what you've been through, and or as a sister would, because I've been in your shoes. I know what you're feeling, and I want to tell you that you can absolutely get your figure back again. Now, whether you're thinking of becoming pregnant, currently pregnant, just had a baby, or perhaps you've already had several children and you just feel like there's no hope for you, that you're so probably out of shape, you're thinking, or you have too much weight to lose, and you just don't think it's possible to ever regain either your former figure or to become a new you and have the figure that you've always wanted and dreamed of. Plus, feeling healthier and being more fit. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can absolutely have it. It's going to take some commitment, and it will take some time, and it's not easy, especially if you've just had a baby. There's so many changes that go on both with your body, and now your time is restricted. The baby now comes first. So you're going to have to do a little bit of creative thinking on how you can, again, have a little bit of time for yourself to do something that's very important for you and your baby and any future babies that you have, which is to get yourself into good shape. If you're in that postpartum period, that's 6 weeks after you've just had your baby, well, that's really a period for restoration. Your hormone levels are still high. The progesterone that was responsible for softening your joints and your pelvis to allow room for the baby, they're still flowing through your body. You've got to give it time. That's what that 6 weeks is about. It's to try to restore your hormone levels back to normal again and your joints. You have to give your body time. What you should be focusing on is just getting some stretching, some light movements, working on your pelvic floor. I recently did a video about how to know whether you have a diastasis recti and exercises that you can do to help close a diastasis recti if you have one. That should be viewed by all moms out there, and before you undertake any abdominal work, you really need to check that video to make sure that you don't have a diastasis recti, and if you do, you want to do the proper exercises to try to minimize it before you. And you should really run everything by your doctor. Your doctor will be the one who can tell you what is best for you as far as an exercise program goes, because he'll know your history. He'll know what type of pregnancy you've had, if there were any risks involved, anything like that. And then you can be free to kind of customize your own exercise program. And I got so much mail from moms after I uploaded that video with the pelvic floor work and the diastasis recti that I really wanted to talk to you all and just address some of your concerns and just tell you that it is definitely possible. Now, when I had my first child, nobody prepared me for how hard it was going to be to take off my pregnancy weight. I gained 28 pounds with my first baby. I was very fit before I got pregnant, so I didn't have the problem of having to also get off any excess weight. It's just basically for me was pregnancy weight. But there's hormones involved, and I was breastfeeding. And when you're breastfeeding, your body maintains a certain hormone level and keeps a certain amount of fat content in order for you to make milk. These are all things that you read about and you learn, because that way you have a good perspective on what to expect from your body. Now, it probably took me a good, I would say, year to get back to my pre-pregnancy weight and figure. Now, sometimes you get back to your pre-pregnancy weight, but you may not exactly look quite the same yet. It takes time for your body's joints and muscles and for your rib cage to come together and for your body just to come together and be like it used to be. Sometimes you're never exactly like you used to be, but you can be better. You can be just as good and look just as great. So the important thing is that you go slow, that you realize that it's not going to be easy to find the time, but you will. I used to try to plan 2 days a week where I could ask my husband to come home at a reasonable hour or just to be around so that I could go out for like a little jog or something. Before my 6 weeks postpartum, the most I did was just go for some light walks. So you may want to, as you feel better, maybe by week 4, you could go out and take just a short walk, maybe between 10 and 20 minutes. See how you feel. If you're getting out of breath, if you're feeling overheated, if you find that your heart rate is going up too high, more than the 60 to 70% of its maximum, and you should calculate that, then by all means stop. Little at the time. It took you 9 months to put the weight on and for all those body changes to happen. And it's not going to, just go back overnight. It's going to take some time. And of course, you're fatigued. You may not be sleeping. It depends on how restless your baby is. So you've got to go with the flow. And you've got to kind of roll with the punches. And when you can, you take some time for your exercise. So I was able to, after my 6 weeks, I got my green light from my doctor to go ahead and start doing some exercise. So I started with walking. I loved to put the baby in the stroller, and every day I went out for a short walk. And I started with 10 or 15 minutes, and slowly but surely I worked my way all the way up to, say, about 45 minutes. And it takes time. I did not do that overnight. And then I would come home and I would work on my pelvic floor. And I could have the baby lying right next to me on a little mat, or maybe in the portable crib, or if it was in, I wanted to be near the baby, I could be near the baby. And I could just lie on the ground, on the floor, and just do the sit-ups right there. I found very helpful were exercise videos, which I have many uploaded to help you. Again, you're going to have to modify them in the beginning, but as you are well beyond your postpartum period and you can start regular exercise programs, those are going to be great because you can do them at home. You don't have to worry about getting a sitter, getting out of the house. You can just find a little time when the baby's asleep, or if the baby's up and near you, you can do it then. You want to make sure you have a good sports bra, because especially if you're nursing, the added weight is going to be uncomfortable when you move around. So be sure you do have a good sports bra when you're exercising. And just know that it's a process. It takes commitment, but little at the time, you will see the results. You just have to give it time. This is not like the weight that you were used to before you had a baby. If you had a couple of pounds you wanted to lose, you knew exactly what to do. You knew just how your body was going to respond. You knew what you had to cut out, what you had to do, how much exercise you need. Well, this is totally different. So there's a lot out there for you. There's books you can read on postnatal exercising. There's designed videos for women who are pregnant that they can do. Again, there's a lot you can do to stay fit during your pregnancy as well as after. So please don't be down on yourself. Please know that if you commit to exercising, no matter what stage of being a mom you're at, if you've got 4 kids under 5, or just get started. Start with walking. Try to find a friend who will do a little babysitting for you. What I did is, when my child was old enough and I felt I was able to leave the baby with someone, I joined a fitness center that had a really great babysitter. And you have to check this out, and you have to feel comfortable with the person. I think my daughter was probably about 10 months old when I did. So she was in a very playful age. She was already, starting to walk. She was walking, and they had a great facility there. And I just tried to get an hour at most, and you have to be kind of ready to roll with the punches. So if the baby's having a bad day and doesn't want to stay with someone, you just have to be prepared to leave and go home and maybe just do your exercise video that day. But I tried to get out to a gym so that I could do some more types of resistance training and just to use more of the cardio machines and to be able to focus more on different types of exercises. I wanted to get back to my old routine, which was I used to go to a gym and I enjoyed that, and I wanted to do that again. As far as diet goes, that's very important. I do have a video up, my Food and Diet Fit for Life plan. It features the Food Bear, which helps you understand about the importance of food groups and having a varied diet. I think it'll be very helpful for you just to focus your diet on the healthy foods. Try to eliminate the junk. Be patient, because it takes a while for the weight to come off, for you to lose all that extra volume of fluids that's in your body. It really takes time. I didn't really see my body starting to look like its old self. I mean, you'll initially lose that pregnancy weight with the delivery of the baby, but I probably had maybe 15 pounds still on me, which is a lot for me, and I kept it there for quite a while. And I think I was able to get down to the last 7 or 8 pounds, and then that was just hard to remove. And I finally got it all off after I was finished breastfeeding my child, and then I could focus on really, getting back to a more vigorous routine, because the baby does come first, and you are committed to the baby when you're breastfeeding. You do have to be around more than if you were bottle feeding the baby. So my time was chopped up. But I was dedicated, and if you're dedicated, you can do it too. You can absolutely get your tummy back into shape. It will happen. You've seen my videos. My stomach is flat. I have muscle tone. Everything is back just basically in the way it used to be, if not better. It takes work, and it takes sometimes, several years before you really start to define and carve out muscles. My daughter was 2.5 when I got pregnant again with my second child, so I had enough time in between to make sure that I felt comfortable getting pregnant again. I was in great shape. I had a great diet, and I felt I was ready to have another pregnancy and focus again on doing what was best for the baby. Now, after you have 2 children, something wonderful happens in that you're much more comfortable with being a mom. So for every child after the first one, there's that sense of confidence, and that you've sort of just really sunk into the role of being a mother. So there's that kind of worry over every little thing does subside, and it did for me. And I was also much more secure in the fact that, I lost the weight once and got myself back into shape. I can do it again. I wasn't in a hurry. I knew it would happen. It took me probably, I nursed my son for longer than I did my first child, my daughter. And I think it probably took me 1.5 years before I was all back to the way you see me now. So it does take time. And that was fine with me. I wasn't extremely overweight. I was just, bigger than I am now. And I had some weight to lose, but I did my toning exercises. I watched my diet. I certainly wasn't going to add to the weight gain. Very often people will just feel like, okay, there's no hope for me, so I'll just let myself go. No, don't do that, because you're only going to make it more difficult for yourself to lose the weight. So you don't want to add more weight to that. You want to eat healthy. First of all, it's better for you. It's better for your baby if you're nursing, that your calories count, that it's good food that you're putting into yourself. Also, always be aware of the foods that you're eating, and the portions that you're eating. I don't think I was ever as hungry in my life as I was when I was nursing my children. It's like the appetite came out of nowhere. And I ate. I had to. You have to sustain yourself, and you have to sustain another human being. And then there's exercise and just having enough to function. So that's why it's hard. It's hard to lose the weight when you're breastfeeding. But you do slowly, and it also helps you breastfeeding to get your former figure back. Every time you breastfeed, your uterus contracts, and that helps bring it in and helps to flatten your stomach back out again. So the body is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I hope you'll let this video be kind of a forum for chatting, for moms to come post some comments. Other moms answer them back with their journeys and the progress that they've made. And just remember that it takes time, it takes commitment. Try to do something every day. Start slow after you've had your baby. Wait for your doctor to give you the green light, and then slowly but surely build yourself up to a better and more healthier lifestyle. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please subscribe, because I have a lot more to come, and please visit me at my blog spot. Thanks again. I will see you soon. Bye-bye now.